Ladies to Midgets, where we give you some of the latest boxing news with some old boxing fights from the past. Just a reminder to you guys to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. It's your boy Danny. Let's get it, man.
And here's the fight of the night. What I think was the fight of the night. Sunday night. Makabu-Jack versus Junior Makabu for the WBC Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Let's go. This was a tale of two fights. It was basically the activity of Makabu, who was active all night, landing 242 out of 845 total punches, but his accuracy wasn't there. It was at 28%, but he did stay in Jack's wheelhouse all night long. But Jack landed a staggering 177 out of 291 power punches for 60% connect percentage. You know, and a lot of things that people don't take into consideration, but we've seen this so many times, is that Makabu-Jack comes on late in fights. He's done this so many times where he's strong late in the fight. And this is the second knockdown. This is the second angle. Jab, right hand, down he goes. Now with this victory, Makabu-Jack becomes a 3-weight division champion and makes a strong case for the Hall of Fame. Yes, the Hall of Fame. He won the WBC Super Middleweight Championship and was champion from 2014 to 2017. He moved up to 175 and became the WBA Light Heavyweight Champion in 2017. And finally, now in 2023, he has added the WBC Cruiserweight Championship to his dossier. What's next for Jack? Time will tell. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him once again in some lucrative championship fights. Congratulations, Makabu-Jack, new WBC Cruiserweight Champion. Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. Cruiserweights, 8 rounds. When the scores were announced, Tommy Fury was able to win a split decision over Jake Paul. Now, I'm not big on either one of these guys, to be honest with you, but this is what you guys, the public, wanted to see. You wanted me to talk about this, so here it is. And as far as the numbers, Jake Paul himself said that the fight is doing 500K pay-per-view buys so far, right? But I've heard some numbers, 200K pay-per-view buys. So I'm just gonna wait till the actual official numbers come to make a declaration. In other news, per BoxingScene.com, former WBC 154-pound champion Tony Harrison says, "Look at my role in obstacles I had to jump over. Tsyzu took the elevator, I took the stairs." Tony Harrison was mostly complimentary of Tsyzu during a press conference held to promote and discuss the upcoming fight March the 12th. However, the former WBC junior middleweight champion was quick to suggest a touch of privilege and has been enjoyed along the way by his upcoming adversary. "I'm not knocking him for being tough," Harrison noted, "but when you look at my role and the obstacles I had to jump over, I mean, he took the elevator, I took the stairs. Somebody make it make sense to me." The article goes on to read, "How did he get here? He beat everyone in his backyard," Harrison questioned rhetorically. "You know how big his backyard is? This is how big." He holds his fingers close together. "You know how big the backyard I'm fighting in? I didn't beat everyone in Detroit. I beat everyone in the States. I'm just real. I'm not jiving. I'm just being real." Tony Harrison from Detroit, Michigan has a professional record of 29 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw with 21 wins by way of knockout. He has a daunting task in front of him to face Tsyzu, and he believes that his experience is going to carry him in this fight. But I think styles make fights, and Tony Harrison is a stylistic slick boxer. He's a pure boxer. But Tsyzu is more of a boxer puncher, just like his dad. He looks to get mid-range to inside, whereas Tony Harrison looks to keep the fight on the outside at all times. But the fact that Tony Harrison has 29 wins and 21 of those by knockout could be a factor. Tony Harrison's power could be underrated. But the thing is, he also has 3 losses by KO. Willie Nelson, Jarrett Hurd, And when he fought Jamel Charlo on the rematch, he was stopped late. So all of these were late round stoppages. And Tsyzu, with his power, will he be able to get Harrison out of there late? So that's an alarming thing. Tsyzu has a professional record of 21 wins, no losses, with 15 wins coming by way of knockout. He's coming off a victory of Crawford-Rocha, in which he was dropped in that fight against a puncher who's not a puncher. So that is an alarming thing for Tsyzu. But he also showed his power. He also showed his resiliency. And he was able to hurt Rocha on many occasions. Will he be able to hurt Harrison, whose power is better than what people may think it may be? Because Tsyzu has a 71% KO percentage, which is not too much higher than Harrison's 65% KO percentage. So Tsyzu is the bigger puncher, but will his chin be tested? And can he be outboxed? Stay tuned. So March 11th, Tsyzu, Tony Harrison for the interim WBO 154-pound championship. I'll be making my predictions live right before the fight. So I'll be on live. Tune in. Finally, Terrence Crawford versus Alexis Rocha. WBO formally orders the welterweight title fight. Talks already underway. Now we all know that Terrence Crawford has been in negotiations with Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions. So the WBO has ordered this fight between him and Alexis Rocha. You know, there's been people who have the nerve to turn their nose up at a WBO title elimination fight. And one of those guys is Yordenis Ugas, who took to Twitter after Michael Benson reported that the WBO have now officially ordered Terrence Crawford to defend his WBO welterweight world title versus Alexis Rocha next. Yordenis responds, the former WBA champion, "This is without disrespect and excuse the question, who is Rocha? What record do you have?" Well, Yordenis, you haven't fought since you got beat by Errol Spence. How long ago was that? You haven't even been active. You haven't been fighting. I know you've been resting, but how can you sit there and talk about Terrence Crawford? And we're going to sit here and talk about Terrence Crawford, but we're not going to talk about Errol Spence being allowed to go above the welterweight limit to fight his so-called mandatory Keith Thurman. The WBC has ordered, and they still don't have a fight date for that. And for people who say that he ducked Virgil Ortiz has been on the path of the WBA, not the WBO, as he's going to finally fight Amanda Stanionis on April 29th. So I don't want to hear anything about that. And as it pertains to Jaron Boots Ennis, his promoter expects Spence to vacate the IPF title, and Ennis is going to become the full champion by the summer. So Ennis was on the pace for the IBF, not the WBO once again. So what are we talking about again? And as it pertains to Blair Cobbs, you got knocked out by the guy that you're claiming that Terrence Crawford is ducking you to fight. Make that make sense, bro. You got Rocha problems. All in all, I don't taken out the you can't really blame the guy for that. Let's hope this welterweight lens gets solved. Want to thank y'all for watching. I want you to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Appreciate y'all for coming by.